Well, let's go back to Annalise in Paris for a little look ahead at what we're expecting tonight. Annalise, Macron speaking later today, or rather this evening. What can he do, and can he appease these protesters?
Well, this is a very good question, Belle. It really depends on what exactly the French president says later today. The protesters I've been speaking to over the last few days say that Emmanuel Macron has taken too long to even address this crisis. They say the fact that the French president hasn't spoken to them directly yet shows that he is arrogant, that he is detached from the seriousness of the situation. One thing that is for sure is that they are expecting now a big concrete gesture from this administration. Raising the minimum salary could be a good start, but the Labour minister here in France has already said that that won't happen.
How far does this go? I mean, are we talking about Macron's presidency in the balance here?
Well, the protesters surely want that to be the case, and this is realistically the biggest challenge Emmanuel Macron has faced since coming to power, and this could be a huge blow to his ambitions to transform France. This is a president that was elected on that promise, on a promise to shake things up and to deliver a new France to the French. He wanted to transform the pension system, reform the taxing system, reform the education, the healthcare sectors. But now Emmanuel Macron finds himself with a lot of challenge and with a lot of resistance from the French people. Will he be able to buy some time and wait until this movement loses its momentum? Well, that's certainly what Emmanuel Macron is hoping that he can achieve. For now, though, even the protesters that were chanting Emmanuel Macron démission, Emmanuel Macron should go, don't believe he is going to resign, but they are expecting a big gesture from his administration.
Well, Brexit may be causing Theresa May headaches, but the prospect of a no deal is making boom time for the warehousing sector. Damon Embling reports.
Under pressure, this logistics company, 65 kilometres outside London, forced to turn away new customers. Storage space too tight amid a surge in demand from businesses stockpiling goods, those fearing a no-deal Brexit.
They are mentioning the Brexit word when they call. They are concerned about inbound delays, and they're supplying typically high street stores. They could be supplying straight into production lines in the food industry. Food ingredients are very time sensitive, so companies are approaching us and asking for potentially short-term extra storage. It could be just a few hundred pallets, but it can be thousands of pallets, and we don't have empty space that can absorb that kind of extra capacity.
Current trade between the UK and EU is massive. Imports and exports totalling more than £600 billion last year alone. Businesses fear that a disorderly crash out of the EU will cause chaos, more border checks, ports blocked and long traffic jams, severely disrupting a well-oiled supply chain. Storage had already been expanded here, a new upper floor and a temporary warehouse added. But even with that, it's not enough. These are bumper times for the storage industry in Britain, cashing in on all the turmoil around Brexit.
We've said from day one that whatever the outcome of Brexit, whether it's a deal, no deal, hard, soft, whatever, in the overall sense, this will be good news for the warehousing sector, because there's inevitably going to be some form of interruption in the supply chain.
What would you say to those critics who say all this talk of stockpiling is just scaremongering?
It's not scaremongering. I think it's just a question of separating out a little bit, if I dare say, the media frenzy from the reality. But of course, businesses are preparing for that day one no deal worst case scenario. So there is an upsurge in demand.
With so many goods going back and forth between Britain and the EU, there's lots at stake. The government says it's been working closely with businesses to prepare for whatever happens with Brexit. The question is, will it be enough to calm the stormy seas forecast ahead? Damon Embling, Euronews.
Well, let's go live to Berlin and to our correspondent Emmanuel Chaz. Good morning to Emmanuel. Now, Karamba won the vote extremely narrowly. So how much pressure is she under from within her own CDU party?
Yeah, good morning, Belle. Well, indeed, it was a very narrow election, as she only won by 35 votes more than her main contender. And that alone shows you just how divided the CDU is between those who favor the centrist line of the party, which has been followed by Angela Merkel for 18 years, and which should be that of Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer now, if she indeed followed to Merkel's policy, and those who want to veer that conservative party towards the right. And Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer claims that she agreed with the two other candidates prior to the election to work together, but her vision of the CDU only represents what half of the party wants. So we have to see over the next coming days, coming weeks, just how ready those who have supported Friedrich Merz or Jens Spahn will be to support her. Also, the pressure is on Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer because, as we say in Germany, she's stepping in some very big shoes, just like Angela Merkel did 18 years ago. She'll have to impose her vision for the Conservative Party. And what we're witnessing so far is that she became the head of a party that is hugely divided at the time being.
And let's talk about Merkel. How difficult is it going to be for her to run the country whilst she's not running her own party?
Well, technically, nothing prevents someone to be Chancellor of Germany without being the head of her or his political party. But Angela Merkel herself had stated in the past that only by leading one's party one could be Chancellor. So she will be even more under pressure now. And likewise, it's unusual for the head of a ruling government party not to hold a position in the cabinet. And so far, it seems that Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer will not have a position within the government. If that is indeed the adopted strategy, we can talk about damage control for Angela Merkel, because AKK is an ally for her and will follow through her policy.